Why is this map so important? It's the 5 communication spaces map, where you have personal space, one-on-one space, group space, community space, and sacred space. You have to look at these 5 spaces as places where you are different. So you can have 5 roles. You can have 5 parts of yourself. But you definitely are going to act differently in the community space than when you're alone with a friend. You're definitely going to act different if you're meditating in the forest versus hanging out with your basketball team. And then down here in the sacred space, that's up to you. How do you work in the sacred space? How do you show up in the sacred space? Now, in today's business world, the sacred space isn't really part of the equation. And that's one of the problems, is we've lost a sense of sacred in whatever business we're doing. And so collectively as a species, we're doing things to basically kill ourselves because we're not leaving certain things alone that need to be left alone. There's too much emphasis on profit. There's too much emphasis on how do I make my next growth percentage in whatever industry I'm in. So this map needs to get into the psyche of our whole species, kind of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, because we need to think about the community space in a very different way. I think the community space has disappeared. The commons has disappeared. If you go into most cities, it's owned or operated by some group space entity. But the true community space, which is open for all, is gone. And the idea of the commons isn't so common. And so having the ability to distinguish group space from community space is a huge thing. Having the ability to look at what is sacred is huge. But also being able to program these spaces with values is a huge breakthrough in terms of intentional consciousness programming. And that's another video for you. But I just want to emphasize that this map, of all the maps in the inflow matrix, is like the starting map, because we need to understand boundaries. We need to understand boundaries and limits in different spaces. And that's sort of, I think, our collective species mental development that needs to happen like now.